Infinity, huge underdogs, but again, if you end up 0-2 after the second day, it really does mean that you're out of the running to make it to the finals.
Yeah, as only one team gets to go to the finals in Occitanie, France. It will be whoever tops this group. So anybody going 0-2, well, they can pretty much be guaranteed that they're not topping the group. To start this off, though, Infinity onto CT side. Cloud9 starting on this T. We'll be looking towards apartments for a little bit of presence here to start this one off very early. The rest of the members, well, we are going to see, I do believe, it will be Vice making his way towards the top of Banana while the Bomb starts heading up alternate mid. Infinity have actually generated a 3-man stack towards this B bomb site. So if Cloud9 commit to it, they've got a pretty big trap waiting for them.
Yeah, they do, but their split presence right now is giving respect to both sides of the map, though they are trickling in, and now especially with Automatic joining in as the last up through mid, it's going to be an A push, possibly an A wrap. They use a flash to the right side of the brackets, and a good chunk of them go to the left side. They'll try and wrap into this site. This will leave Malbs in pit and Davies into the back pit. And they haven't seen anything yet, but they've given Cloud9 all the real estate they need to make this a quick and painless death for these two players that are in the pit. Malbs, though, his first blood. That's against Rush, and right into his lap is Cajun B. Now with these two players still alive in the pit, they're allowing the rotations to come in, and Cloud9 find themselves completely surrounded. Good pistol round so far for Infinity, but right now here's where the aim comes. Here's where the trades come. It's a man advantage suddenly from Cloud9, even from a surrounded position. They've left these two players, in fact, one of them being Malbs. Looks like he's on the bomb. Could he just straight defuse this?
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Malb's going to give this to him. Oh, he's come off the bomb. He came off the bomb. He had a chance, but Automatic being up in the apartments really just had him dead anyways. Yep. I don't think there was a kit on that bomb at that point.
So yeah, I thought he did have a kit for a brief moment. That's why I thought he was actually sticking it and not looking for kills. But the lack of a kit there in that situation, especially because his teammate goes down, does prompt Davies to get off the bomb, look for anything he can. But Cloud9 are able to triumph in that pistol round.
Cloud9 managed to put themselves in arguably the worst situation I could have ever imagined them in. Surrounded, not getting the players out of the pit. It was a 3v5. They had just planted the bomb. It looked like the numbers were to the favor of Infinity. They were surrounded, and they still managed to fight their way out of that.
Yeah, they actually decided, because there was a smoke blocking off that big pit area from them, they took the fight towards Arch, towards Library, and that's where they were able to put themselves back into a man advantage situation. A nice little audible call by Cloud9.
Yeah, on the fly call. Smoke off CT, and it's going to be two players here. First on top of Oranges, and then in front of Oranges, it's going to be Points. They have Davies that's shown up, but he's coming and wrapping around the construction side, or has been back towards CT. And the spam that's there leads him a little bit shy about aggressing back into this. It's just a vanilla round for Infinity. Cloud9, heavy SMGs as a matter of fact. It's MAC-10s for the big bulk of Cloud9's arsenal, and they will chew up a lot of these players that are out in front of them. Aim punch far too strong. So far, SMGs for everyone, and all SMG kills, as Golden doesn't find anything, even a chicken at the end of the round for Vice to be able to chew on into the next.
Yeah, I do imagine Automatic might get dropped in AWP, or is he just going to go for the AK? Okay, so he's going to go directly for that AK-47. Cloud9 won't have the op on the field just yet, but it's okay, as Infinity, not really too much going on in their works either. You're going to see no kits whatsoever on the side of the CTs. Oh, Davies actually just was able to pick one up. In terms of Molotovs, we were only going to have Malbs with one. Plenty of smokes, though, to hold back the terrorist assault. Let's see if Infinity can get their first on the board.
Yeah, this is where they got their first on the board in train as well. It was the first rifle round, and they are in the same position again where they have a superior firepower to work with. Their utility is on the short change spot, but that's expected in this third round before the CT's economy is able to really grow and blossom. Automatic clearing out these angles, really lonesome. Vice is behind him, but a ways behind him, so there would be no trade. The trade spammed through the smoke, but no damage has been dealt. Bouncing a nade off the skybox. There you go. Lands it right in front of Spamsy.
Does look like Cloud9 will be favoring this B bomb site. Nice little nade towards spawn from Vice. He actually hits himself off the sandbags area, and that's going to cause the nade to go a little bit wider. It wouldn't have done any damage, but I do like the idea coming out from Vice. On the other hand, though, Cloud9 setting up for this B execute here momentarily.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact,
nice shot by Golden.
See, Golden's getting kills over there on Arch side, and he gets that frag, and it does unsettle the B site defense anyways, and he's actually looking to catch either rotations or pinch this site. There's 4v2 now, 4v1 on the front side of this site, which still leaves Golden playing the lurk role, making sure that the rotations cannot come in. So Cloud9 is going to have a handful of gifts in their basket against the rifles. They'll upgrade from the SMGs shortly enough. Cruisen's last man up, and he's running for the high hills. He'll get up and climb that mountain, possibly into the apartments, and find some safe ground up there.
All right, Cruisen now. Final member on Infinity. Cloud9 will be moving on to their third round, upgrading Rush out of that SMG. He's going to be able to pick up an M4. We still have 2 SMGs on the field, Cajun B with that UMP as well as Vice. As we move into the next round, Infinity should be on an eco, so look for Vice and Cajun B to lead the charge, farm up some economy here. Get some cash going.
Yeah, Cruisen doesn't...
Well, Vice actually upgrades, so Cajun B is the only member with a UMP now.
Yeah, and it'll probably be... after some point, which is what happened on Train as well, where Cloud9 were playing in that first case defensively.
Yep.
They ended up saying, okay, let's just take the initiative and run fast. So Cloud9 might end up doing the same thing, where even though they're on the T side here and they're the ones setting the pace of the game, that pace might continually increase for Cloud9 as they feel more and more confident.
Let's see what Cruisen's actually going to run away with this M4. It does look like he's going to be heading to the A bomb site right off the bat. I imagine he'll maybe look for pit or even some holes aggression to start the round and maybe get an early pick. But other than that, it does seem like the Infinity side is going to be worse for wear with these pistols.
Yeah, Cruisen's using Mulbs right now as an extra piece of shield in front of him. And that's where your UMP was. But man, Cajun B just a 1-2 tap against those soft, squishy domes. Davies last up with a deagle.
Gets spotted.
Cajun B. Got him.
So that's 1 on the board. Well, 1 kill on the board, I should say, for the Infinity side. Now, as Davies is able to recover that M4, he hasn't gotten out of holes yet. And I do believe Rush, oh, well, he was watching that for the moment. But he is going to pull his attention now towards Boiler.
Well, I think things just got more difficult even by killing Cajun B, because now Cajun B is going to buy a rifle in the next round. So Cloud9 had adapted and started to evolve their weapons setup, having a lot of SMGs in that second round and in the third round, and as they do mount up some casualties in the fight, those players just end up rebuying into rifles. So now they've ended up accustoming themselves with full rifles. They've got an AUG they stole, an M4 that they stole out there as well. It is a 5 AUG play for Infinity.
All right, Cloud9, more of the same here, running a default. You'll see a few members moving towards Banana very early on. No damage being exchanged just yet. 5 damage onto automatic, but that's about it. Cloud9 looking for a little bit of a Hull's presence setup now to start this round, as automatic does take down Spamsy towards Banana. That's going to keep these 2 other Infinity players primed on that portion of the map.
Yeah, points spamming as he may, unable to connect for a full frag. Now Davies is in here behind sandbags. This could be a surprise. He's on the off angle right now, and he does surprise the first and the second.
Okay.
They didn't anticipate a third player was out there towards the B site. Now Cloud9 are going to probably bite into this, thinking, okay, there might be a few more bodies in there. Now they turn and head towards A, which there's 2 more defenders there. Mulbs and Cruisen, both in the pit, both in the same spot that they were in before. They have spotted the approach coming in towards the lane. That's a really deep Molotov. It's going to get smoked off, and here they come, jumping down into the fray. Mulbs has the first. He's got the second as well. It's going to be automatic all alone. 1v3, spots the first target, but there's the hold. Well played from Infinity to dissuade Cloud9 from continuing the fight at the B site, and they turn back around and they again run into the heavier presence from Infinity on both sites.
Yeah, exactly. I actually thought that Cloud9 was going to have a good approach towards that B-bomb site, especially because they've got, I do believe it was Cruisen to give up his smoke there in the big pit and actually give up his positioning. But Cajun B wasn't expecting that. He jumps all the way out of balcony trying to charge that player in the pit and gets caught by the double-up setup that Infinity had within that A-bomb site.
It's a welcome sight for Infinity to get around real quick as the teams trade utility. Infinity do not have the third player at the B site this time. It's a 2-1-2 with Davies being your pivot man on the arch end to be able to support both sites as he may. Great grenade comes in. Points and Spamsy both hit quite hard, especially Spamsy from that one. So that sandbags was a problem for Cloud9 in the previous round. They will take their time to clear it out yet again. Not this time. Nobody's quite home. Spamsy's been boosted up onto the potting plants above CT side. But aggression on both fronts. See how it plays out as Cloud9 start to take territory across the map. Nice nade stack.
Not much happening, though, from the Cloud9 side. Just a little bit of presence towards the end of Halls here to start the round. We will see the poke and the prod from Vice now towards that B bomb site. He hasn't actually spotted anybody out, but he is going to smoke off spawn and give himself a little bit more room to work with as Points takes a little bit more damage on this re-aggression towards lane, where Golden is going to go down, and as well, Rush now finds himself buried.
Yeah, Cajun B spots the chase, but it is an escaping Malbs. Vice has got himself into water, but the boost goes up for Spamsy. That would be a surprise. Wow, there's a T over there in water. A 2v4 spot right now as Infinity might even collect a second round in a row, which would be pretty detrimental to Cloud9's money. They've got a couple players up at the 6,000 mark, so next round would still be a bye. They're trying to pinch onto this A site. They need to surprise a player or two, but Malbs all the wary, and Cruz is aware himself. He's woke. 2 rounds for Infinity.
This is great from Infinity right now. Actually putting a stop to Cloud9 here 2 rounds in a row will cause Cloud9 to reassess how they're approaching these rounds. You're going to see a lot slower play out of the C9 side. I don't imagine they'll be taking those risks that we saw out of Vice, that we saw at Golden there in the previous round. I do believe this is the moment now where Infinity have gotten Cloud9's respect on this map and are going to get them to play a little bit more Team CS.
Yeah, so in the interview after map 1, they said that we're going to play our own game, and they did. But it's not their normal game, you know. On Train, they just overran Infinity. And Cloud9 are trying to do more of the same on this map. We saw that last round. They tried to split push. They tried to take both sides at the same time. It's been a couple misplays from Cloud9 that they typically wouldn't make against a top-tier team. They are playing a little bit greedy right now. And Infinity, it's more power to them that they're able to stop Cloud9 and force Cloud9 into, like what you said, a more respectable play style.
Exactly, and that's what you're seeing right now as they take their time smoking off towards middle. They're getting ready for the pop flash, but they aren't going to be finding much. Rush taking quite a bit of damage there on the approach as well. We are seeing Davies get aggressive and actually finish off Rush now, and he is going to get away with it.
Straight out. I mean, no challenge at all, because there was still a smoke there at top mid, so the 3 that were there to be there for the trade could not confidently push that angle. Davies now repositioning himself over towards Library and Arch side. He's been smoked off. He threw a flashbang too. He really wanted to peek, but here comes another pop flash from his teammate on the site. Davies has an angle around the smoke, and Automatic walks right into it. 5-3 advantage right now, and it's going to continue to pour on Cloud9. 28 seconds on the round as the bomb has made it to CT, but it's been fumbled. Spamsy's forced that one down, and the B team's been wiped out, and so has the A team again, as Infinity are picking up some rifle rounds.
Yeah, starting to actually break into Cloud9. They're absolutely decimating them on that wrap attempt. I love that idea out of Davies there on the edge of the smoke. Cajun B does end up walking right by him, actually, and picking off a player in the pit, but it does get traded out almost instantaneously. Now, Infinity 3 rounds on the board and starting to gain some momentum.
And still haven't really broken the economy for Cloud9. It's there in force, but Vice willingly buys a MAC-10 so he can get full utility instead of a rifle in there. And Infinity, on the other side, have really retrieved 3 AKs, so most of their guns have been afforded by Cloud9, which is a welcome sight to them as well. But a lot of these rifle rounds from Infinity have actually been won pretty handily at that. They've got them with confidence. Cloud9 have been playing some of these strategies that are high risk, high reward, and they have yet to find much success with them at all.
Some nades going out towards that B bomb site. Spamsy is going to take 61 damage from it. It does look like Cloud9 now, after a little bit of a mid fake, are going to be moving back towards Banana now for the execute.
If they execute into this site, Points is holding a very shallow angle, so it's going to be a lot of ground to be taken by Cloud9, but it's up to Spamsy, who's on Coffin's side, to be that initial presence to make sure that they can't freely walk that way. Now, Golden has been able to escape and make his way through Arch to try and work some kind of flank around the backside of these CT defenders. Golden even got a kill out there. Great shot from Points. He's on the board. He got himself 2 kills at that. Great wounded players for Cloud9 right now as the healthy ones start to arrive in a split position. Cruising will be coming up Banana, and Mulbs will be coming across CT side, and Cloud9 planting the bomb pretty early are able to put themselves in some pretty defensive positions with a lot of question marks as to where they possibly could be.
Yeah, exactly. Cloud9, all they need to do is take the passive approach towards this round. They don't need any more information. They just need to play the bomb. Cajun B is most likely going to be first contact on this towards the banana entrance, as well as Golden now. But look at that. Cajun B just moves out of position, almost gets caught.
Nice nade. They both peeked, but nobody shot. Like, they just looked at each other and made eye contact and said, okay. It's like a 10-pace gentleman's agreement. It's like, okay, I won't shoot you early. We'll make sure that we have an even fight. And then he throws a grenade at him. So Cloud9 are back into the swing of things, but not before Infinity were able to get 3 rounds in a row and get enough economy under themselves to be able to avert a disaster. So they were able to afford guns again, just fairly comfortably. There's a FAMAS in there. It's going to be in Cruisen's hands, but there's AUGs, there's M4s, there's a lot of grenades too.
All right, Cloud9 once again going to send Vice towards the top of Banana, or attempt towards the top of Banana. He will be Molotov'd off, held back for the moment. In the meantime, we're going to see Cajun B as well as Rush now make their way up towards the apartment side of the map. No contention there as well here, as Cloud9 have free reign.
Vice actually got scared from that. He spotted 2 players there just from the jump peak, and he didn't want to take the fight at all. He actually was jumping with his knife out and then realized, oh, crap, I'm in a world of hurt. But Infinity actually got cold feet from that, from the peak as well, and they backed off themselves.
All right, as we near the minute mark on the round, it does look like Cloud9 is setting up to take some brackets control here. Don't forget, we have a boosted player on the Infinity side, and Mulbs on this lane roof, on the porch roof here. Can he make something happen?
He's really up to him. There's a flashbang that goes underneath him. Automatic's able to pick that off with a UMP. 2-for-0 exchange as, again, Cloud9 continue this split push tactic. They're winning fights across the board right now, but pushing through the smoke is going to cost you a body or 2. Cajun B actually gets tagged by that grenade. It stops his aggression through there. The bomb's still at bottom Banana. They're looking to just take raw fights, and again, Cloud9 are getting slapped down.
Yeah, there was a lot of individual efforts being done by Cloud9 within that round. They do have a couple of opening picks, but they don't actually respond to those opening picks. Instead, they keep pressing areas of the map that they didn't necessarily need to, and they're going to get caught for it. One of the big ones was Rush forcing the issue towards that CT spawn smoke. He's going to get taken down. At the same time, we see on that B bomb site, Golden forcing in as well.
He's got 5 seconds, so he's committed
It's
to the
already over.
frags. Yeah, can't plant the bomb. And not going to win the round against the 3 that remained for Infinity as they bring in 4 rounds and win yet another one. That's going to make Cloud9 in a spot that they're not really have seen yet so far. They're on a decision of, okay, we could do pistol armor a bit, but more likely than not, it's just pistol and no armor and do some damage in the following rounds so they can have some rifles. But Cloud9 are playing this by the seat of their pants. They're very, very confident. That's why they're running these split pushes. Hope to win the fights across the board, but as a matter of fact, Infinity are winning their 1v1 and 2v2 duels.
Yeah, in their head, essentially Cloud9, they're confident that any fight they're going to be able to take is going to find them success. But unfortunately right now, Infinity with these AUGs are looking mighty confident and absolutely stopping Cloud9.
Yeah, Infinity take a timeout on that one, so they will talk it out, see what they can do in the next round. So far, they've won 4 of the last 5 that have played, and Cloud9 are slowing down. And initially, we thought that it would have been almost an instantaneous reaction from Cloud9 after Infinity won their first, second, and even third rifle rounds, that Cloud9 would have shaped up, you know, shape up or ship out. But instead, they continue to play these greedy, aggressive playstyles that Infinity have won over and over and over again.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Cloud9's already doing a great job on their T side, hitting that 5-round mark. But it could be a very, very spread out scoreline here if they were to approach the round a little bit differently, a little bit more cohesive, as not as individualistic.
Yep.
However, Infinity right now doing a great job of taking advantage of that and completely bringing themselves back into this game.
So Infinity had 3 players initially towards B in order to lay a salvo of grenades down to prevent Cloud9 from a flat-out rush B strategy. Cloud9 instead laid way back, not even getting into Banana. So the first volley of grenades from Infinity was a whiff, and they take top mid for free. Infinity keep themselves along the back walls. Davies is in Library. Malbs is in Graveyard, keeping his head down, and then Cruisin's in the pit.
Okay, it does look like Davies now will be looking for a little bit of contact, and there's that Deagle of Automatic just absolutely decimating him here as Cajun B has spotted Malbs out by this Graveyard as well now. This could be Cloud9 going on the eco-offensive.
Is it bait, though? Because Malbs is being spotted. Cruisin's going to be in the pit. So now Cruisin's position is known. Malbs is actually standing up. Gets one kill. It wasn't spotted immediately, but great shooting from Cruisin. He'll find himself a third, and it leaves Automatic now to ace clutch if he wants to win the round. He's gotten 3 kills so far. He needs points and Spamsy to end up on the wrong end of the barrel. He boldly climbs up into the apartments.
Yeah, using that smoke as cover now. Infinity have no idea where Automatic has went. He's actually going to reposition himself towards Boiler, hoping to catch off anybody that made their way up lane.
It's not the strongest spot. He was hoping that they'd come up mid and he'd end up flanking them from behind. He's got a Molotov to bounce off. It's going to land into the smoke. Spamsy secures yet another round for Infinity. It's going to be a 5-5 scoreline. Cloud9 had a chance to win that round. No armor. They had one player with armor. I believe that was Rush, but everybody else just had pistols and were naked running onto the field.
So Infinity looking much better on Inferno, tying this one up 5 apiece here. Cloud9, a great eco out of them, not able to find any success, however, but we are moving into a gun round for the T side.
All right, and AUGs versus AKs. Mostly just cruising out there with an M4, and he's doing all right. I've seen his name come up quite a bit. He's above 1 kill to death, and Infinity settle in. Just 2 players over towards B this time. They're not trying to get this anti-rush strategy involved. It's just your usual grenades that come down on banana mollies, some HEs that go out, but in this, Infinity have already depleted half of their utility that they had in this round. A boost, head boost at that is rewarded with a kill. They'll use a flashbang to secure their retreat, and it's a 2-1-2 against the 4 that remain for Cloud9.
Rush now making his way down towards Boiler, hasn't spotted anything. Cruisin is looking to take this fight on that Boiler area of the map. A couple shots being fired off as Davies now on that arch side, taking some periodic peeks towards the middle.
Yeah, informational peaks too. So they know that Cloud9 haven't set up for anything. They haven't advanced into mid. We've seen a lot of rounds where Cloud9 have been given a lot of bracket control for free. Now they own bracket. They'll turn the corner left, and they've got one up in the apartments to try and wrap onto this site. Interestingly enough, though, they do have Automatic still at Banana. He'll be last to show up, I believe, to recover the bomb and approach this A site. But Infinity have instead gone from the back wall defense now onto the site with 2 players, and then one in Malbs being up on top of the balcony.
Yeah, so Malbs is actually watching that wrap positioning from the Cloud9 side as we are seeing some smoke grenades come down to block off that pit vision. Here comes the execute from C9 aiming right for this site.
Yeah, KGB heard the one drop into the pit, but man, Infinity really put themselves in a really tight spot. But defend as they might, they just turtle into the site, and they lose 2 right there just from Automatic. Might be the saving grace on the round. KGB jumping, searching for the player he heard in the pit, but Malbs will receive him. Automatic now again needs to ace clutch this one. This time, though, in a 1v3. Molotov comes out. He's mowed down after the repeak from points, and Infinity have just snatched the lead.
Taking their first lead for the first time in this series now. That's a great little effort out of the Infinity team. So they go up 6-5 now, and Cloud9 are trying to find a way to get themselves in this game.
It's looking messy, and to me it feels almost like if you give a mouse a cookie, they're gonna want a glass of milk. You know,
yeah.
They're gonna want a napkin. You know, one thing after another. And Cloud9 gave Infinity a little bit of wiggle room, and now Infinity's able to flex pretty hard on Cloud9, picking up a whole bunch of rounds that we hadn't anticipated initially to actually develop like this. So Cloud9 got another try at it to knock on the door of Infinity, who own the lead.
All right, some Molotovs down towards the end of Banana now from the Infinity side. I think they're going to go for another boost here. Oh, actually a pop flash peek. Some bullets being spammed through. Vice actually times Spamsy perfectly. And he's going to get the opening frag of the round.
Yeah, Points is actually going to peek this. He does have Davies that has arrived in support right now, but peeking this angle is dangerous. What an angle right there from Points, but Vice is able to get him. Points needed that initial headshot instantly as he was going to come out of the logs. Davies, though, is going to try and create some magic, but suddenly Cloud9 doing Cloud9 things. 5 survive, and they split push, and they actually win that round that time doing that strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Vice was just left to his own devices at that point, just looking towards the banana area. He was just set up to lurk in that position, but it's going to be Golden who ends up getting the double kill at the arch where Cloud9 was actually expecting to attack, and that's what allowed them to open up the site and actually start committing. So a nice round out of Vice, great round out of Golden.
Back to a tie game. How quickly Infinity's money has disappeared. They've won 6 out of 7, and they're down into P250's Deagles. So they are in the apartments. Cajun B rounds the corner, spots, makes eye contact with Points up there. This little spray transfer, nice shot from Points though too. Rush is searching and surprisingly survives as
Came close.
Points just mashed him down to 6 HP. This eco round could, if they get another couple looks like that, Infinity might end up picking it up.
Spamsy now going down as Automatic takes down Davies. The final member on that B bomb site is cruising with a Deagle, and he won't be finding anybody as it does look like Cloud9 just holding fast right now. Haven't even recovered the bomb, but I do imagine they'll be heading to that A bomb site.
Yeah, to they go. It's pretty free and clear. But even with all this control, all this map control, and all their domination towards the A site, and knowing that it's an eco round from Infinity, they leave the bomb back to T ramp. And they look for a couple frags. Interestingly, it's just Vice making contact. And now the 3 that are over towards the A site react. Vice gets the kill and finishes the job. That's now Cloud9 back in the lead. Get a couple lead exchanges and get a dramatic game.
Well, Cloud9 on T side is doing a great job here. Taking the 7th round on their T campaign is exactly what you want. You want to be in the lead here on T side. It just makes moving over to CT that much easier. Infinity's doing a great job thus far of keeping themselves in this one, but unfortunately they just haven't got enough CT side rounds to be actually in the driver's seat of this game.
AKs versus double mag 7. We saw that earlier today too. Molotov on the front end, a Banana Automatic looking for a fight. Free and clear. Grenade bounces off the wall, doing damage to both players at the same time. Took one to the face, but still standing. 50 damage to him. A cruising at range will find one. And right now, Infinity are rebounding, recoiling from all the damage that they've been dealt. It leaves Davies alone in rotation to the B site when, again, there was action on both fronts. Creates a lot of confusion for Infinity, and it's a really tough decision to make, especially when Cloud9 are leaving the bomb way back, and you're getting pressured on both fronts. You don't know where the execute's going to happen.
All right, Davies now by this coffin area, by the construction back halls. Vice is watching it, but is Davies able to time him? And he does. That's the first kill on the board. The bomb is going to fall all the way back as Davies now has given away his position, and Cloud9 will take the safe route on this round, moving Rush into that A bomb site to get the plant down, while Cajun B aggresses towards Library to cut off the rotation.
They just pin him in. You can't retreat. You can't attack. Davies right now from whence he came back at CT, and again he'll respawn into the next round as Cloud9 secure yet another one. Last round of the half begins. Cloud9 have at least won the half at 8 just now. It's a balanced map, so this is actually a fantastic showing from Infinity right now, being able to post up 6 rounds so far and possibly a 7th.
Look at Automatic's scoreline in this 8-6 on the scoreboard. Automatic sitting at 17-8. A great first half coming out of him as Cloud9 now looking to pick up their 9th as Infinity try and get their 7th on the board here for their CT side.
And Cloud9 are chilling way back.
Oh, we got a technical issue.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, they are way back. And it looks like they'll take a tech, get a reset on the round. Yeah, they're asking for a restart on the round. No damage has been dealt, so easy match.
Tis allowed.
For that one. Yes,
Tis allowed.
Absolutely, no damage dealt. No grenades were even thrown by Infinity. I don't know on that banana side. I didn't hear anything popping off. So we'll get another start into the 15th.
All right, Cloud9 now. Are they going to approach the round different?
I would say, I'd say it's going to be the same approach. They're going to leave T-spawn. They're going to go up towards T-ramp. Yeah. Oh, here they go. Yeah, see?
Oh, you called it, man.
Same strategy.
You called it. Cloud9, let's look how they approach this round, though, as a whole. It does look like more of the same, though. Just the default coming out. They're going to lead Vice towards Banana very early on. Nothing really happening from him. He's going to be burned out. He's not going to make it. Oh, 4 HP.
goodness, that last tick where it starts spreading towards you just creates fear. That is a big, big set of mollies that start things off on the right foot for Infinity. There's no restarting around now. Not after beautiful execute like that kick things off. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen double Molotov come into Banana, and a player is able to stay safe in that little cubby. That time, not so.
Automatic now. I think he spotted points out towards this arch side, so he's going to be concentrating on that by a bunch. That nade now landing right on points as Golden is able to take him down with the help of his HE as well. But Vice caught a lot of damage in that crossfire.
Still, that split push continues for Cloud9. I'm almost expecting Cloud9 to anticipate. Are they trying to boost this? Can you? Yeah, he's bumping his head on the ceiling. Run boost it? Do it. It's
no
like
way.
A linear run boost. I don't know where. It's, I guess,
what was the goal there?
Against a player that might be at Coffins and surprise him at a Flying Dutchman. I don't know, man. It's creativity from Cloud9. They're having fun.
It does look like Cloud9 will be grouping up towards B now with 25 seconds left on the clock. We still have the boost here from Spamsy. So I'm looking for Spamsy now to come up big here. I don't think Cloud9's actually going to anticipate this one. And Spamsy should be able to pick up some easy frags.
There's the weak player, and wisely he falls off of the angle. Nobody's even spamming back up towards him because that's what you do. You just fall off. Now they spam through towards tree. They're rewarded with a kill trying to triangulate the fire. Both teams using the echolocation to kind of find one another. No further blood drawn, but Cloud9 are wounded as their health starts to look like my cellular reception in the hotel rooms. Pretty bad.
All right, it does look like that resmoke is going to keep Rush alive for a little bit longer as the retake begins. Cajun B able to drop down Mulbs now. Onto Davies as well, the final member cruising, pushed up on the other side of that dark spot. Can he make this one happen? He is able to take down Cajun B, but Rush trades it out. And 9-6 is what we're going to end with as Cloud9 dominate that T side and pull off with that 3-round spread.
Yeah, that last re-aggression from Infinity looked very stiff into the site. Everybody had a role. They had a great idea to start that retake, but you saw Cruisin', he was just dialed in. My responsibility is Banana, and I'm going to hold Banana. His teammates die around him from those different angles, and that's where you want to be able to have some fluidity at it and be able to get the trades, switch your angles up. But that's the first half of the second map that concludes between Cloud9 and Infinity, holding a 9-6 lead. Stick around, second half to continue. Welcome back to the Pro League. It's Infinity versus Cloud9. Infinity actually possessing the lead for a short time in the first half before Cloud9 were able to shore up their approaches.
For a brief moment in time.
Yeah, for a brief moment, yeah. But Infinity's going to take that home with them. We were beating Cloud9. We're doing it.
Well, it definitely shows potential in the team that they can actually take it to teams like C9 and actually be competitive. But as we move on to the second half now, Cloud9 starting on that CT side, we are seeing a little bit of isolation. Automatic staying very long in those apartments is punished now as the rest of Infinity looking to burst out these halls.
Yeah, Cajun B is able to pick up one. It's going to be a 3v3, but the bomb's been dropped in lane. It's going to be recovered, and Spamsy gets two on the reapproach. Now Infinity start to look to dig in. You got a player in Graveyard. The bomb's planted in the site. You got two players that are in there. They need to be able to find their way out or just straight up fight their way out. And Spamsy's got the following two as well. So the 4K on the round for Spamsy and Infinity are really, really impressing me on Inferno.
Yeah, they're looking really nice here. Picking up this pistol round keeps them competitive, keeps them in this game. Doesn't allow Cloud9 to start pulling away. A great 4K coming out of the round now from Spamsy as well. It does look like Cloud9 will be opting to force buy into this to take Infinity right out of this game as early as they can.
Sometimes haste makes waste, though. Look how outgunned they are. Deagles, CZ against rifles for the most part for Infinity. That should be more than enough. As a matter of fact, Infinity even have as much, if not more, grenades than Cloud9 have on this round. So Cloud9 are going to have to rely on some of those sexy, sexy 1-digs that we saw from Automatic on Train. He misses his first shot and is replaced by Rush for the mid control.
Yeah, Infinity hasn't taken anything too quickly right now, looking for any aggression from these CTs that they might be able to find. We will see Davies dropping that pot flash towards Banana to allow his team to start progressing up in this area. But other than that, Cloud9 now taking it very passive, and Infinity doing the exact same thing. This is going to burn the clock down, and remember, Cloud9 4 spot, so they've got plenty of smoke grenades to actually hold back these Ts from aggressing.
Yeah, it's just passing the minute mark, and it does not look like that 1 minute mark has actually queued out any smokes from Cloud9. They still hold on to those three. I want to see when those smokes are made for the call to shift. Spamsy's been spotted in mid. Rush actually went for the re-peek on that one, loses his life for such. So it's up to Automatic and Cajun B now to hold on to this site. They could use smokes to plug up the lane, but it's actually a fake, a bit of a fake. Spamsy's going to remain over towards the arch side to catch the rotators, and it's a fake that pulls out Vice off of the B site, leaving just Golden.
Yeah, this is huge, though. Golden drops that smoke in front of Banana, and now Automatic with the nice 1-dig onto Spamsy. It should prompt the rotate back over.
It still sells the fake, actually.
Look at this nade coming out from Golden right onto them. Some huge damage as well.
Yeah, here's the peek. Has the first 1-dig, but he's unable to settle for a second one. Vice dumps most of his first magazine in as he'll refresh for the second one. A little bit of damage there. Chip damage is in. Automatic's gotten himself an AK, and it's going to be all him. 1v3. Now 1v2 right now against 50 HP for both of the remaining players. Just don't give him the look. Make Automatic get these movements in. You know it's a force buy, so it's unlikely that there's a kit anywhere on the field. Make him play the clock.
Yeah, you can see Automatic very concerned about CT spawn as well as Tribox now. Both these Infinity members playing towards the backhaul as Automatic does head in. I think he might even walk his way out as he's not been able to find any frags, and that bomb's taken away. Automatic will be looking towards that save.
Yeah, but he's going to catch points. Points dead to bomb. No survivors for Infinity. Cloud9 buy up Deagle's armor on that round, and they are the only ones to take a rifle into the next round. So Cloud9 could be tempted to do the same thing, but like I said, haste can make waste. I would recommend that they just hang on to that head armor AK and hope that Automatic pulls a miracle.
Judging by the start of this round, Automatic will be heading towards that B bomb site. Vice did end up actually picking up a Zeus as well. And I do think Golden's heading over here with a pop flash. So look for some aggression from the Cloud9 side to get something going early on as Vice.
Nade. That just landed in his ear. Here comes the Deagle for Golden, unable to find another after his first. That rifle has been dissuaded out there as well. So now you've got Spamsy playing the lurk, off angle right there. You don't expect somebody to be on that behind the barrel there in mid. And it's just Cajun B. That round, really, really rapid for Infinity on approach, and they are fortunate enough that those first nades that rounded the corner blasted him away.
Exactly. KGB now getting taken down by Points, who's actually sitting at the top of the scoreboard at 12 and 10, so a much different display of skill coming out for Points here on this second map as well. Infinity now tying this one up 9 apiece. Here's that nade that Vice caught and just got blasted.
And that was a good ragdoll effect from that, just because the grenade was so close to him when it blew up. It's pretty. Even scoreline again. But here comes the guns for Cloud9. This is the true test for Infinity. They're against the AWP of Automatic, AUGs for everybody else. You could have had another AK up here too. You could have had Malbs out of the MAC-10. Points could have bought it for him.
Yeah, I do imagine Infinity opting for a little bit faster of a strat here as they send 3 members towards the palace part of this A halls. I do imagine that they're looking for this MAC-10 to lead the charge and actually burst out himself. No, the MAC-10 is going to go towards lane as KGB takes down Points, and Rush now will be finding one as well, but it's Infinity that come out with the advantage after all those trades, Dallas.
Oh, Vice, not like this through the smoke. That's a save call if I've ever seen one for Golden. Nope, he's going to keep fighting. Spots Malbs disappearing into the boiler, and now that his position's sold out, I can't imagine Golden trying for this one. And Infinity are back into the lead. So, I mean, there's been a couple instances where if this wasn't a best of 30, say it was like a best of 20, you got yourself a best of 19, you got yourself a winner if you're Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity right now will be retaking this lead off of a really good Hall split there. You're going to see 2 members of the Infinity side split up through lane while 3 members rushing towards Cage and B. Cloud9 end up getting the first frags in all of those situations, towards lane as well as towards halls, but they have nobody else doubled up, no crossfire set up. So as soon as Infinity end up trading those kills out, well, they're able to just roll through the site, and this is what I'm talking about. You see Points get taken down, but Cruisin trades that out. At the same time, Rush finds himself 1 kill, but Malbs trades it out.
So Cajun B was up there on the balcony, and he got that first kill against Points, which is fine, but he saw and he heard Points stomping his way down the halls. Cajun B expected that there'd be a lot more players that are just stomping their way through the halls. So he held down mouse 1, which completely messed up all spray pattern that he would have known. And then the later peek came around the corner, the more subtle peek, and he ended up dying, and that was the first step of unraveling that site.
Exactly, Automatic firing off a couple deagle shots towards middle, not finding anything. It's going to be Rush to actually pick one up, as well as Vice now. We are into a 3v3 as Cajun B takes down Cruisin'. And now it looks like Infinity will be slowing down this round, trying to gather their laurels and understand how they should approach this midpoint.
Yeah, you got a man advantage, and you've got 1 rifle in play for Golden. That's a welcome sight. Points and Spamsy are split from one another. One's in the apartments, and the other one is on the left side bracket. They need this opening kill, and it's not going to happen. The mobility from Vice and then the accuracy from Cajun B deals death, as I thought Infinity were able to pick up that round pretty cleanly, but that was not the case. Look at the guns that they just managed to steal away from Infinity.
Exactly. So 10-all is our scoreline off the back of a nice deagle round from Cajun B, as well as that CZ of Vice. They're going to make this one happen. Now, moving into these guns, however, Infinity will be spending the last little bit of their cash in efforts to actually keep themselves competitive in this game. Don't want Cloud9 to start pulling away just yet.
Purchasing what they can. I actually want Infinity to manage to win this round and make a really good competitive game, which it is. By all means, it's competitive. I mean, we've been joking around and thinking that Cloud9 were going to be able to make a repeat effort from the previous map. Most certainly not the case. This is Cloud9's map pick, and Infinity, which is not their strongest map, have actually done really well. Vice, point blank, changes his position, shifting, juggling, and jiggling as Golden gives some help out there, but Vice will find 3, and that buy round from Infinity is met with a disaster. Points is all left, spotting the shadow of Rush and just trying to zigzag his way around Boiler, but he's flanked by Cajun B, and Cloud9 are back up on top.
Yeah, Infinity not having any success in that round. A nice clean round coming out from the CT side. Only Golden falling within that will give Cloud9 a big influx of clash into their pocket. And here's Vice now with that beautiful little spray down towards Banana, ending up on 3 kills. Good hold from Cloud9.
Yeah, I like that from Vice. A less experienced player would just hold that one angle in that one spot, and the call may be like he's in the corner, which is where he kind of started, but then he shifted out a little bit shallower and wanted to take that fight sooner and sooner, which would surprise the next player and the next player and the next player. So you're down into some deagles, almost a full deco. Spamsy, though, is on the cheap side of it, just keeping his little $200 Glock that he was inheriting, was gifted to him by the government.
A little smoke coming out towards middle now will be keeping the Infinity side from taking it. Did look like they wanted to move right towards middle and get those deagles involved, but they aren't going to find that success. Instead, it's going to be cruising, heading towards the end of apartments right now, peering off in towards this A bomb site, looking for anybody from Cloud9 that might be just taking a little bit of a misstep.
Almost timed
that timing there.
Yeah.
Just pulls off his automatic, turns the corner.
Never saw him. Hey, there's top mid control, gifted to Infinity. Can they close the distance? But look at this, 4 players ready to go for Cloud9's side. That Molotov's actually going to be ahead of the push, and that might surprise Rush. They're there in force. They've got the first. They've spotted Cajun B up here as well. He's going to fall. The trades are even, and here comes the reinforcements. Automatic's down and out. Vice is now the last man standing on the site, and he goes down too. Infinity, if you manage to pull off an eco round. Yeah, if you pull an eco round off of Cloud9, that's another impressive feat. Golden for a 1v2 clutch, unarmored targets, but they're starting to find themselves some dropped guns.
Yeah, Cloud9 looking for a little bit too much within that round. You're seeing everybody essentially force the issue right now as Golden is moving into this site. He's staying crouched. I don't think he's been spotted. He will make a little bit of contact with Points, looking for that second member, but Points, a great headshot onto Golden to tie this one up, and Infinity have done it.
They win an eco round against Cloud9. Keep impressing me. Keep doing it. They just come in through force. As a matter of fact, they were able to get up without mid-presence from Cloud9. It was a gift to Infinity. They were able to turn the corner from Porch. Another gift to Infinity. The Molotov was just a bit late, which Infinity were already ahead of, which surprised your pit player, surprised Cajun B, who was up on top of the railing up there, but that's what ended up unnerving Cloud9 on that round. And they will buy back into it right now as it's even Stevens with a rifle, so there's an op there for automatic. But if you win this round, you're going to win a bonus round after it as well.
A lot of utility being used towards Banana now as Cloud9 try to create presence on that portion of the map and force Infinity out of that position. They've successfully done that, and we are going to see the rotation come in momentarily as Automatic has his op prime towards the bottom of Banana, and he will fire off. Not able to connect, however, will prompt him to fall back just that much more.
He wants to take it. He wants to secure Banana with his scope. He has Golden out here who throws a smoke over his shoulder. That'll land deep, and he will clean up that one. There is a smoke from the T side as well, but they'll use a boost to put Automatic up on top of the wall, and they still maintain control here in Banana. And Infinity throwing some Molotovs in there. And that's very obvious right now to Cloud9. Actually, now it's getting confusing. It's a lot. It's a second Molotov and gunfire that came through. I thought it'd be obvious that since that was a Molotov thrown from beyond the smoke into the smoke, that it would be a fake. And really it is. But that keeps one casualty and one extra player staying at that B site.
Yeah, it will be Cloud9 now looking towards this A defense as Infinity has made their way up lane once again. Good Molotov into the pit. Nade's coming in onto Rush. He's down as Vice and Cajun B combining now.
2 molly kills for Cajun B. What? Now Cruisin's in a 1v3. Now 2 clutch as the bomb is down out in the open. But he does have a 1v1, but Cajun B will stand tall. A full house between Cajun B and Vice. Cajun B getting a couple crispy kills in there.
Yeah, very close round, however. Really, Cajun B and Vice coming alive within that round. They've been fairly quiet over the past CT rounds, and that's really because Infinity's been able to shut them down at every corner. But within that round, Cajun B with the double Molotov kill, ending up with 1 odd kill on the round, as well as Vice, phenomenal hold from him, will keep Cloud9 in the lead and on to their 12th round.
Yeah, and I'm anticipating this is going to be a save round. Whoever won that round was going to force your opponents into an eco. So since Cloud9 take it, maybe they find themselves a clean 13, but we have seen an eco victory from Infinity earlier.
I hope they don't eco them twice.
Dude,
that's brutal for Cloud9 in that situation.
At that point, there's a chronic problem for Cloud9 against the ecos of Infinity. But man, Infinity's approach on that A site looked good. It was a heavy lane presence and a heavy lane push, but they just instead they got melted by the Molotov. They got sprayed down. You could see it here. I mean, they had numbers coming into that, but they ran into that Molotov. Probably suspected that there was a weakness in Cloud9 that they were trying to exploit.
Even the time on the clock, there was only about 20 seconds left,
They
right?
could have waited for that Molotov to extinguish. You never know if there's another Molotov.
But then you have to bank on rotations coming in, a flashbang coming in. It's just too many variables, so they opt to actually just force the issue. That's what happens. Cajun B burns 2 of them down. Vice sprays down another 2. Easy round for Cloud9.
It is the exact same purchase that Infinity managed to win before. 4 Deagles, a Glock on Spamsy, and there's the shoulder. Oh, that's unfortunate. Spamsy's a little wider than he thought, and Automatic double scopes in to make sure he elbows him.
Yeah, he is going to smoke bottom of Banana. Wise choice out of Automatic now. It does look like Infinity will be favoring middle, where we have a crossfire set up between Vice as well as Rush now, who's playing under the porch.
And there was a little bit of a thrust for the 2 players in Banana, but they back off of that. And
Nice shot, Mulbs.
There you go. That's a gun you can fairly confidently go to recover, because he saw that Cajun B was retreating at that point. You don't think that there's going to be another player peeking this angle. That's going to be an AUG to pick up and a little piece of utility as well.
We'll be falling back now as we are seeing the bomb heading up towards the top of B now. Rush is going to be able to take down Mulbs. The bomb getting ready to execute onto the site where Golden patiently waiting here. Is he going to be able to do this? The smoke should be fading momentarily.
If only they had a flash.
Rotations should be coming in as well.
Yeah, well, Golden's alone. There is company coming. It's on the way with 15 seconds in the round.
They got to go.
Yeah, they got to make the move.
On your bike, boys.
Playing a bit timid, but Vice now, again, there's no...
What a flash.
There's no utility here for them to choke off the CT side. And 5 seconds left, it wouldn't have mattered if he even made it to the site.
Exactly.
It would have soaked up too much time. So, yeah, they hesitate. They do not make it into the B site in time to even have a chance at the round. They did some damage, though. I'm surprised, though, that, I mean, you saw him pick up the AUG from the apartments, but he chose not to use it. He used the Deagle down into the lower boiler. That's where he lost his life.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe it's the idea of, well, the AUG is not a one-hitter quitter at a distance, but the fight he took was at point-blank range anyway, which the AUG would have been pretty good for.
All right, Infinity now looking to keep themselves in this game. Are going to be buying up into this round here. Molotov towards the top of the car from Mulbs. Not much else is happening, however, as Cloud9, some great utility usage down towards Banana, keeping these Infinity members on their toes. Golden getting ready to line up a nade as well.
Nade stack.
Banking it in, just not doing that much damage. I actually thought they were going to pull off the kill.
It did a lot of damage, and look at them just melting on the back end of that one. They're losing players in mid, they're losing players towards A. I think that was actually a peak possibly into Boiler. I'm not sure, but that did a lot of work for Cloud9. 4-2 right now, and Davies and Mulbs both at 30 HP, kind of licking their wounds. You still got a $110 on the clock for them to make a decision which way they want to go. They did have that nade stack early on from the B site, so they're going to anticipate there's 2 players that direction. They turn back towards A, and they are going to end up in Automatic's field of view. What a shot.
Nice swing. You're going to see that first player in Davies actually jump into spawn. Automatic misses that shot. That's where Mulbs capitalizes on it. But all the while, Rush had actually progressed right down towards middle. So those are 2 easy kills coming out for Rush in that round. And Cloud9 are finding themselves within 2. A very scary matchup, however, for the C9 side.
Yeah, it was. It still is a bit. I'm actually super curious that when this game closes out, when we take a post-game interview, whoever we interview from Cloud9, it has to say about this matchup. I'm definitely going to be tuning in for that. Hopefully everybody sticks around after this map concludes to hear what happened, what went wrong, what went right for Infinity on this round. What a great nade.
Huge
out of the
nade,
apartment,
yeah.
60 damage against Davies. It's going to be a push into the apartments. 3-man push or hold right now for Cloud9 on this A site. It's going to be Cajun B, Rush, as well as Automatic. He's supporting more towards that mid role, though. He's in the library with his op.
Okay, Infinity should be progressing fairly quickly now, as it does look like Cloud9 once again giving up a lot of this middle control, Dallas. By the looks of it here, Infinity will be capitalizing on it, just peering off into mid, not being able to find anything. Cruisin has actually made his way towards the end of halls as well. Here comes the pop flash. They're out into the site. Can Infinity do it?
Uh-oh. Cajun B chooses to go to his sidearm. He drops his rifle. He just throws it to the ground. I don't know if that was a test Maybe he thought they had auto pickup.
There was a clip, I can't remember the player, but he tossed his gun into the other guy's hands because of the auto pickup factor.
Yeah.
And the guy ends up picking up his gun and he kills him with the... I think it might have even been Rush.
Really?
That did the play.
Okay.
I can't remember. Of course, Twitch chat knows, so if anybody in Twitch chat remembers that play being done, I do believe it was on Nuke. Yeah, please go ahead and...
Occasion B threw it on the ground.
15-11 is our scoreline as Cloud9 looking to close this game up. Infinity, although they had a great T side and some brief moments of life on their CT side, it is going to be Cloud9 starting to pull away.
Smoke just as Infinity were thinking across in top mid. They'll take this time to settle in for the long haul. Good grenade. Oh my god, that was a nade stack actually, all the way to T-ramp. Ends up doing almost all the damage you need to do. Spamsy is left with 7 HP. And he just sends a harassing salvo of AK shots to top Banana saying, yeah, I'm still around. Still presence over here on Banana, trust it. But Cloud9 aren't buying it. They actually have sent...
Oh, Automatic's going to get him.
A third nade. Okay, a third nade. That's going to be some telling information. Infinity might think, okay, 3 players on the B site, let's roll A. And if they were to roll A, they would be met with a third player and a fourth that could rotate quickly. Golden has been chilling. He's actually at Speedway watching the arch wrap to the site.
Yeah, it will be a little bit of a fake towards lane there as they smoke off the arch. You are going to see Infinity moving up on lane where Points will be making first contact as Davies does take down Rush. Cajun B coming up big as well as Vice.
Mega crossfire, and it's only Malbs, and he too will fall. Again, another beautiful crossfire set up by Cloud9 on that A site just as they cross over into lane. We'd seen that before. That's where Cajun B ended up burning a couple